Hey everybody, it's me, Alex Garcia, aka the COG, coming at you as always from comicbookclique.com to bring you, you guessed it, the best day of the week. It's a little late this week. The last couple of weeks have been crazy with the World Cup and just with all the coverage that we've been blessed to have. We've been interviewing tons of creators and just getting out tons of news. It's been wild, it's been great, and thank you guys for being a part of the ride. We have a fat stack of comics to talk about. Let's get into it with Dark Horse's Beast of Boriken by Julio Anta and art by I want to get Daniel Irizarry. Guys, this story is near and dear to me, is near and dear to the entire team. Most of us are of Puerto Rican descent. This story dives into the lore of the Chupacabra and the history behind it, as well as what it means to the culture of Puerto Rico, what it means to the history, and also it falls in line with the story of what's happening in real time with Puerto Rico, with how the island has been, I guess, for lack of a better word, abused. So it's very interesting. It means a lot to me, it means a lot to my family, my friends. Some people, if you're not in touch with this, you're not engaged with this, it may not mean anything to you, it may feel a little heavy handed, but it means a tremendous amount to us. We had the privilege of recently interviewing Julio. It was a great conversation. He himself is not even Puerto Rican, but he understood the impact of this story. It's a Tiny Onion production, James Tynion's studio. So that tells you that even he's invested in it. If you're a fan of James Tynion, you know he's a great storyteller, so he knows good stories. Highly recommend you give this a chance. It's only a 5-issue miniseries. It's gonna in the end tell an amazing story. Check this first issue out. If it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea, but at least give it a try. Julio has been advertising this book all over the place on Instagram and X and everything. Give it a chance, especially once the interview does come out. Give it a listen. Very passionate interview, very creative interview, and I can't wait to keep the conversation going about not just this, but everything else he's going to be got coming out as well. Check it out, Dark Horse, Beast of Boriken. Thank you guys. Next up, we got comics, guys. This magazine is so much fun. I can't get enough of it. It reminds me of, like I said, every time Wizard. You know, you got great articles, you got great history in here. There's a great article here about Todd McFarlane and his impact on the industry. Great cover, as always, by, in this case, it's Mark Spears, which was another cool thing. If you were lucky enough to get the limited edition Mark Spears cover, like I was, this is a beautiful cover. The original design for Spawn, as drawn by Mark Spears. Hard to come by. Great cover. But this magazine is fun. So much bang for your buck. It's only $2.99 or even cheaper if you're lucky enough. Pick up these issues, read it. Let's discuss everything that's discussing it, because it's all like, you know, the who's who and the what's what and the best ofs. Fun stuff to talk about. And for $2.99, pick it up. Keep this magazine alive. Next up, we're going to jump over to Boom, where we got Minor Arcana by Jeff Lemire and Leticia Caranici on the art. This continues that wonderful story that Jeff Lemire tells. You know, he's great at telling these mystical but yet grounded stories. Here we have Andrea just keeping this tone of this mystery of her powers and what it means to her town and the history of all these people who are connected to it. Great stuff. It just the mystery just, it's like an onion, right? You just keep peeling away at it, and the more you think you get to the center, it's just more and more layers. Shrek would love this. You know, I'm loving this book. I can feel that it's starting to wind down. At least I think it is. Great cliffhanger. Can't wait for the next issue. Good stuff, Jeff, as always. And if you just want to know the history of Rook Exodus, great story, completely disconnected in the world of the Ghost Machine. This is Ghost Machine issue 4 of the guidebook that just talks about Rook Exodus and everything you may know or don't know. I'm behind. I stopped collecting at issue 6. It's hard to find issues 7 through like 10 or 11 that it's up to. this catches me up though if I can't find it, or I'll wait for the trade. Jeff Johns and company, you keep killing it on Ghost Machine, and I keep telling everybody that this is one of those worlds that you want to jump into. Check out this book, and it will definitely make you want to find those issues or trades. Check it out. Speaking of worlds being rebuilt, we got Spawn, number 377, Matthew Rosenberg and Steven Segovia on the art. Friend of the show, Mr. Rosenberg. A lot of people are either really into this or not into it, I'm finding. I get it. You had 300 plus issues of Spawn and King Spawn and everything that led up to this wonderful spectacle of a conclusion. And now Matthew's coming along going, we have no Spawn, and we have this new world to dive into that's like a year past all the events of the previous run that finished by Todd McFarlane. What's happening? I'm all about going along with the ride. I'm going to give this the first story arc in Spawn and King Spawn, and I recommend all of you do it too. Matthew's great at telling these long form stories, and I keep telling people, the fact that Todd came at Matthew and wanted Matthew to tell a completely original story, give it a chance. Give it a chance. Listen to the interview we had with Matt, and I think you're going to understand it. So, like me, at least give it the first 6 issues of each King Spawn and Spawn. I am, and I haven't read Spawn since like issue number 8, and I'm digging it. But I do also know that like I'm like, what is happening? A lot of these characters I don't know, but I'm gonna stay on the roller coaster, right? And I'm mostly enjoying it. The art's good, the story is compelling enough to make me go, okay, I'll stick around for the next issue. So maybe you should too. Or maybe not. A book that was long gone, but I believe thanks to Kickstarter and whatnot. Liam Sharp's Starhenge, Book 2, A Kiss of Atticus. This is mostly done by him. I believe he had gotten some help also from, Roger Landridge on the art in some of the pages. Guys, this book, just like the first volume, is gorgeous. Very, just every page is just this beautiful tapestry of art. Look at this stuff. You know, if you know Liam Sharp, especially from that Grant Morrison Green Lantern run, and back in the day he did tons of Marvel and Image. I think he was some DC work also. This is like Star Wars and Dune and Mobius combined. It's hard to tell. Every page is a splash page, and every page just is kind of like an info dump, but it's a beautiful info dump. So give it a shot. If you can find the book 1 to the series, check it out. And this is the beginning of book 2. Beautiful stuff. Speaking of beautiful stuff, Transformers the movie number 2. This is a facsimile of the original series that was done by Marvel, and now Image has the rights to it under Skybound. Kirkman is putting out the movie issues, and I love that movie. It was a staple of my childhood, and I never really read this comic as a kid, even though I watched the movie and I own it on VHS and DVD and Blu-ray 4K, everything. I now have this, and it's fun seeing how different the story in the comic is versus the movie. There are certain things that are so different that you just can see that they weren't communicating. Different type of synergy back then. I highly recommend you get these if you're a fan of Transformers the movie. Onig, let me know if you want me to send them to you. Hail Canada, right? Or O Canada, sorry. Let's check out Marvel. We're gonna get right into the thick of things. We got X-Men United number 5, Eve L. Ewing, and it seems like we have a new artist on this one. We have Eduardo Pansica, taken over from Tiago Palma, I believe was the artist on the first bunch of issues. The art, Tiago started to get better. This artist, I think, is much better for the series. Again, all the ideas of this book are interesting, but then it just feels like the way the characters communicate and the fact that Eve feels the need to use characters that aren't hers. In Extraordinary X-Men, she's great at using Kitty, she's great at using Emma, and she brought in, Melee and Axo and Bronze. I can't remember her name. But those characters, and now here she's using an array of X characters, and some just don't seem to sound like the characters they are in those other books. So it's just interesting why this was done this way. I can. This book is already slated to get canceled. This supposedly at issue 10. What's going to happen with it from there? I don't know. But Eve, you have a lot of good ideas. I just don't know what's happening with editorial or the execution. I don't know. I'm also just not a fan of Shadow. I'm tired. So, Challenges of Doom, number 1, Mr. Fantastic, Al Ewing, and Mr. Henderson, Mr. Mike Henderson on the art. Marvel is all hands on deck with doing Doctor Doom stuff right now because of the Doomsday movie coming out. This is a great book if you know nothing about Doom or you want to refresh yourself about Doom. It seems like every month he's going to go through a challenge or relive a challenge that he faced with different characters. So we're going to start with his first challenge, Reed Richards. Their rivalry goes back to their college days where, Dr. Doom blames Reed for the accident that happened to him that scarred his face, supposedly, depending on whose history you read. This was a fun book. It really rekindled that origin, and oh man, I remember the first time reading Doctor Doom and learning all these things. So if you're someone that doesn't know about Doctor Doom, this is a great jumping on point. If you're someone like me that just needs a refresh, Al Ewing does a great refresh on this. And if you just need more of an excuse to get hyped about Doctor Doom showing up in the upcoming movie, check this out. This is something completely different from Doom Quest. Ryan North has Doctor Doom going through one time travel story, covered by myself and briefly, but Russell on the website did a fantastic job with the long form review on it. So check that out if you want to know more about that one. You should just get those comics just for the covers. You got Doctor Doom being a gangster. Great stuff. Speaking of great stuff, Joshua Williamson, and yep, no more Carmen Canero. We now have. Seems like this person's Randall. What's your first name? Where's the credits? Oh, no, Von Randall on the art, and we have the Return of War Machine. The Iron Man book. This is the first time I'm loving Iron Man since the Matt Fraction run. That was great stuff. I really dug that run, and then after the Matt Fraction run, it's really been a lot of misses. Until now. Now we have Tony developing a school because he knows that all these people that are supposedly going to be the next Tony, he's trying to protect them as well as educate them and make a team out of them. However, in the same time, the Avengers do not trust Tony, so they send none other than War Machine to have a talk with him. Great stuff. Great slowdown issue, but still keeping the momentum going in this book. I'm really loving this book. Josh, you're killing it on this. You're killing it on G.I. Joe. Keep it coming. And a book that's got a lot of controversy behind it, Amazing Spider-Man number 32. We're marching to issue number 1000 very soon. Joe Kelly, Patrick Gleason on the art here. This continues the talk, right? We've now found out that Aunt May has a long-lost son. They thought the son was lost, but now he's not. So Peter has a cousin to talk to. Again, this hit near and dear to me because I come from a family, unfortunately, whatever, that we've had those things happen. And it's very interesting. It's an emotional bit that you don't experience much in comics, or you do, but maybe not as seriously as Joe's taking it. Some people aren't digging that, especially with the way, yes, the Vulture stuff feels kind of just squished in. But on a whole, I'm digging it. I'm loving this, and I cannot wait for issue number 1000, despite all the controversy with the cover stuff. But I'm a big fan of Peter. I'm always going to want to read Amazing Spider-Man. If you're not, then don't. Speaking of Peter and Miles, we have What If Secret Wars number 1. What if the Secret Wars basically didn't unfold the way it did, where in this one it talks about the Ultimate Universe survived the Secret Wars, right? So in this one, instead of the Ultimate Universe getting folded into the 616, we got the 616 getting folded into, I believe it's called 1610, the Ultimate Universe. Peter gets put into the Ultimate Universe, and he's basically now the new guy, and Miles has to show him around. Cool concept. I was a big fan of the old Ultimate Universe, so seeing those characters come around again and how they would be if their universe had survived was very fun. I really liked that old Ultimate Universe, even though I loved the new Ultimate Universe, even though I got cut off way too quickly. This was really, really cool. Well executed by Alex Packnadell. Great fan of the show. We had him on for an interview, I believe that was just put out, and Keifu on the art. This has probably been the best of these what if issues. Check it out. This was a lot of fun, especially if you like Ultimate Spider-Man or if you just like Miles. Great stuff. Speaking of just classic, great stuff and more of this facsimile stuff, we got a reprint of Avengers JLA, the classic crossover written by Kurt Busiek and drawn beautifully by George Perez. I happily picked up the Dan Mora cover because I still own my originals. So I was like, I need a new cover, and Dan Mora cover. Oh, yeah. And it's just great to just relive this beautiful crossover. And anytime you get to see my man Kyle Rayner, I dig it because he is the truest Green Lantern. If you never read this, pick up the facsimiles. Great stuff. Let's head over to DC. More Vertigo books coming back, and what better Vertigo book than to bring back but 100 Bullets, the US or the Us of Anger. Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Rizzo back on the art, bringing back the world of 100 Bullets. 100 Bullets was a classic Vertigo series that went 100 issues and told this very long but wonderful story that every time you reread it, you'll find new stuff to love about it, as well as the continuation in the first miniseries post 100 Bullets, Brother Lono. This continues both series stories. Great stuff. In this, we get black and white art now, which enhances to me the depth of this story that it's telling. If you know Lono's a survivor, and he's a lone survivor, hence his name. I'm really excited that this book is back. I think it's only back as a miniseries. I hope it lasts a little longer. Great stuff, especially if you love 100 Bullets. You definitely want to pick this up. Deadman, number 2. W. Maxwell Prince and Martin Marazzo and Chris O'Halloran, the team behind Ice Cream Man, as well as the recent Superman Spectrum book that I really, really liked. Now we're into issue number 2. We got Deadman doing Deadman things, but all from that crazy perspective of the Ice Cream Man team. I hate to spoil more than just to say that. This is a kind of story that you really need to read and explore and just sink your teeth into. Really can't wait for this to conclude, to do a reread, and just really go down the path of the Deadman. Because the Deadman, like I said with the first issue, this is a character I don't really know much about. Yeah, I know he's kind of like the person between life and death. He kind of ferries you between those realms. He shows up in weird situations. So this is like the first time I'm reading a Deadman book. I like it. I like the ideas that Maxwell Prince brings about because it fits his mindset. And I just highly recommend it. And just stick around for the ride. I think it's only like 5 issues. Last, but certainly not least, saving the best, almost the best for last, right? Arguably. Absolute Martian Manhunter number 12. Dennis Camp, Javier Rodriguez, or Javier Rodriguez. I always confuse because, is it Javier or Javi? I want to get it right. Javier Rodriguez on the art. The conclusion to a series that was supposed to originally be 6 issues and got pushed to 12 because it's so damn good. Just this cover alone just tells you so much. Read this series, guys. We're going to get a full-on deep dive discussion on this whole 12-issue series. There's so much to unfold here. This series is just absolutely amazing. Hence the title. The emotional weight, the psychedelic nature of this storytelling, yet it still feels grounded. It feels like something that can happen. It kind of like happens, I feel like, in everybody's minds, especially nowadays. This book is just beautifully told. It hits hard, and I'm almost happy to see it go because it's every month that this comes out, it just hits hard. But at the same time, I'm very sad to see it go. So just pick it up. If you've mixed the issues, pick up the first trade. The second trade is probably going to come out very soon. And stand by for the probably 3-hour discussion we're going to have on this series. Great stuff. Thank you, Dennis Camp and Javier Rodriguez, for this series. Hopefully, this is not the end of the Martian Manhunter. And thank you guys. That is it. That is what we picked up this week. It was a tremendous amount. Please, as always, like, share, and subscribe. Keep the conversation going. Comment. Let us know what you picked up. Let us know what I should have picked up. This was a great week. We're going to keep it going. Follow us on, of course, on our YouTube, on our X, our Facebook, our Instagram. We are all over the place. Check us out on our Spotify. And if you want to help us keep the lights on, make sure you're checking out our Patreon at CBC Clubhouse. We can always use a little bit of help for just literally for less than the price of a modern cup of coffee. You can help us out tremendously. So thank you guys. Make sure you hit up the website, comicbookclique.com, for all the great long form reviews that we write. You're not gonna miss anything. We talk about every comic. We talk about everything that's out there. Guys, we really love this and we want you to be part of the ride. Thank you as always. Keep print alive and read more comics. Until next week. Later.